Developing news this morning, Green MP Darlene Tana has been stood down amid migrant exploitation claims. Perry Wilton joins us now from the Auckland newsroom. Perry, what do we know?
Yeah, good morning, team. Green MP Darlene Tana has been stood down in their role as the party's small business spokesperson over allegations of worker exploitation. Tana is linked to a company called e-Bikes NZ, who are alleged to have taken on a worker under a visitor's visa, paid them cash until they got their worker's visa. Stuff is reporting that this worker claims they are owed $25,000, and while this is a developing story, both Labour and National have come out and said it's not a good look for the Greens.
Perry Wilton live from our Auckland newsroom, Tēnā koe.
Green MP Darlene Tana has been stood down. That's breaking news this morning. The suspension follows a complaint of migrant exploitation at her husband's business, e-Cycles NZ. Green co-leader Marama Davidson joins us for more on this morning. Good morning.
Morning, Melissa.
Thanks for your time this morning. Can you just let us know, when was Darlene Tana stood down from her small business portfolio and her parliamentary responsibilities?
On the 1st of February, which is when she herself raised to us that a complaint had been laid with the Employment Relations Authority. To our knowledge, there was no involvement from Ms Tana, but as a precaution, we stood her down from the small business portfolio immediately following that news.
So we're 6 weeks on. Why are we just hearing about this now?
Only until yesterday, March the 14th, was when it became clear that there may have been some prior knowledge from Ms Tana of the allegations. And so that is why we're taking this seriously, because we have been very consistent and clear over many, many years that there is no place for migrant exploitation in our country.
You have spoken about that many times. So you took it seriously on the 1st of February by standing her down then. I just wonder why it wasn't made clear to the public that that happened then. We're just hearing about it now.
Yes, on the 1st of February, when we found out, was when it was referred to what necessarily is a confidential mediation process, and those processes are confidential because they have to allow for people to be able to speak freely and frankly to find a resolution.
Yes, but Marama, that process is still going on now, right? So yep. Why have you decided, okay, we can tell the public now and it's not going to endanger that process from going on, it's not going to endanger a fair process now, whereas you didn't think that would be the case on the 1st of February?
Remember, it was only yesterday that it was raised to our attention that there may have been some prior knowledge of Ms Tana. Our concern is with any involvement that Ms Tana has or has not had in any of the allegations.
But there was a second complaint on the 9th of February, and you were taking it seriously enough to stand her down from her portfolio then.
Mm-hmm. And remember, it was only until yesterday that there was any indication that Ms Tana may have had prior knowledge or involvement.
Okay, so the complaints itself was not enough for you, even though you have spoken out so strongly against migrant exploitation. The complaint itself was not enough for you to tell the public back in February.
It was enough for us to take it seriously, which is why we stood Ms Tana down immediately from her small business portfolio, and understanding that it was going through a process. And so I stand by not putting out a public statement at that point. That was to allow for a fair process and natural justice.
Not only did you not put out a public statement, but Ms Tana delivered her maiden speech 2 weeks later on the 14th of February. Was that appropriate?
Yeah, absolutely, because at that point, there was no indication for us that there was any involvement or knowledge in any of the allegations. And absolutely, all of our MPs, it was appropriate for them to carry on with what they need to do their work.
How did it come to your attention yesterday? When did Ms Tana tell you about these allegations, or tell you about whether there was any prior knowledge? Has this information come from her, or has it come from somebody else yesterday?
It has come from further questioning.
With Ms Tana or with somebody else?
Yes, when it became clear. But that is precisely why we have hired an independent expert in workplace investigations to be able to determine exactly that question, Melissa, to make sure that there is independence on determining exactly what was known and when.
So has she not been forthcoming?
So that is exactly why we have taken the quite serious step of appointing an independent investigator to get to the bottom of that, make sure that there is natural justice for everyone involved, including Ms Tana, and to make sure we can get an independent outcome on exactly what was known and when.
Is she still getting paid in the meantime?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. That's Green co-leader Marama Davidson this morning. Appreciate your time.